Today, team, it's windy here in the UK. Look at all that wind. Look at it. What are you looking for, idiot? You can't see wind. Don't give me comments about that. You can see the trees moving. That's someone at the bottom shaking them. However, the one thing we can guarantee is the weather in Aromas, California. We have some strong lifts with a side of upside down walking, followed by a long downpour of trail running with the wind changing direction and the downpour coming back. A side of Dave Castro with Glock. What? And with a gust of Matt Fraser flipping him off. Team, events 3, 4 and 5 of day 1. I enjoyed them. 5 solid events. So let's just talk about the day. Event 3, the CrossFit Total. I think these CrossFit Totals, lifting heavy, you know, when people move well, like Matt in his squat with the narrow feet, with just the beautiful squat. It's like CrossFit's equivalent of...
Lift. Nice and easy.
Like, again, I can completely appreciate how Matt Fraser moves in the squat. Incredible. I wish I had a squat like that. Medeiros opened with a 455-pound opener. That's heavy. But the way that it was set up, obviously Matt won the first 2 events, so he could see what Medeiros was loading on the bar, and he sort of one-upped him every time. You probably already watched the footage, but just quickly. The heaviest back squat for the males, Matt Fraser, 492 pounds, 224 kilos. The heaviest strict press for the males, 210 pounds, 94 kilos. Matt Fraser again.
And that is good for Matt Fraser, and so he goes 2 for 2 of the heaviest weights we've seen. For both to listen, there's...
Oh, man.
But then the heaviest deadlift went to Jeffrey Adler with a 258 kilo deadlift, 567 pounds, which even though he finished 3rd in both the strict press and the squat, was enough to get Jeffrey Adler the win.
Wow. Holy cow. Look at that.
567 pounds for Jeffrey Adler.
It's incredible.
On the female side, Tia Claire Toomey hit a 152 kilo, 335 pound squat. And to all the haters out there that go, the knees are knocking, maybe we should all squat like that. You squat 152 kilos or probably like 2.5 body weight and then come back to me. The strict press was won by Carrie Pierce. We all know her for her gymnastics and her pressing strength. She hit a 71 kilo strict press. It's better than mine. And on the deadlift, Brooke Wells pulled 196 kilos, 432 pounds. But it wasn't enough to secure the win away from Tia Claire Toomey, who pulled 187 kilos, 415 pounds. So the final weight of the winners of this event, Jeffrey Adler, 1,244 pounds, 565 kilos, 3 kilos ahead of Matt Fraser. I'm not sure if there was a miscalculation or something. Matt, when he pulled his deadlift and finished it, he was like, yeah, I got it. You know, I got this. You never get this. And on the female side, Tia Claire Toomey won with 890 pounds, 405 kilos as a total, 3 kilos ahead of Brooke Wells. One of the things that I did want to highlight is Hayley Adams in this event. She's a 19-year-old, probably weighs like 60 kilos. She pulled 149 kilos on the deadlift. It's like Jay-Z, but you changed the J for Cray.
This looks like a 455 for Olsen. Yeah, baby.
But anyway, less about the event, more about the stuff that I like to cover, the behind the scenes kind of bits that are, you know,
Gets the people going.
First off, I wanted to compare glasses, you know? Put down in the comments below which ones you think are the sexiest glasses worn on the day. I'm definitely going to have to go with Sam Quant. Looks somewhat like a Terminator. Now, if you didn't know anything about pufferfish, they can inflate into a ball shape to evade predators, also known as a blowfish. These clumsy swimmers fill their elastic stomachs with huge amounts of water and sometimes air to blow themselves up several times their normal size. Some pufferfish species also have spines in their skin to ward off predators. Yes, the pufferfish. Why am I talking about it? Well, we had 3 pufferfish nominations. In third, we had Kat. Solid, but the cheeks just aren't out enough. Second, we had Matt. Cheeks came out a little bit more. Solid effort. But in first, we had Noah, full-blown cheeks, full-blown eyes. That right there is one of the best impersonations of a pufferfish I've ever seen in my life. Nearly couldn't say that. Tia did good enough in this event for a double fist pump from Shane, but not the clap.
Shane watching on. Good little double fist pump.
And Justin Medeiros, when he lifts, he likes to tense absolutely everything, including his tongue.
To be able to take a swing at some of these guys, push the field if you can, because if you have the opportunity.
And what do you do after PBing your strict press by 2 pounds? You got to flex on that strict press.
Very cool. As he gets a little.
This I'm proud of.
Okay, see now.
Get it, Adler. Event number 2, the 100-yard handstand walk, 270 feet. This game's honestly, I feel like the program is just a bit upside down. Thank you, I'll be here all weekend. On the male side, we saw Matt Fraser take the win. He went 90 yards unbroken and then did the final 10 yards. He did it in a time of 1 minute 20.85. Justin Medeiros actually did a completely different tactic. He did it in 10-yard increments. Kick up and kick down. It shows that if you break up the workout, sometimes you can go nearly just as fast. He did it in a time of 1:26. And the slowest in the field, Jeffrey Adler, 1:54. Still a pretty fast time for 270 yards on your hands. Could barely cover that on my feet.
And look at the difference. Matt actually looks tighter. He's been putting in so much work. Justin Medeiros is just popping up and down, does not look fatigued at all, and he's literally right behind him.
And Matt Fraser will get his 3rd event win on the first day of competition.
On the female side, we saw the winner being Brooke Wells. She did it in a time of 1 minute 21.85, so half a second behind Matt Fraser. 2 seconds ahead of Carrie Pierce, 1 minute and 23. But we've known for a while that Tia isn't as confident on her hands as a lot of the other athletes. These athletes, when you actually look at them in the field, Brooke, Carrie, Haley and Katrin are all known for being able to walk on their hands very well. So Tia finished within the top 5 with a time of 2:05. Out of the 10 athletes, there was 2 to go unbroken. Carrie Pierce and Haley Adams both did the full 270 feet unbroken on their hands. Incredible. And then the run, the dreaded 3 miles around the ranch run. There was a few slips.
And look how delicate they have to be on their way. Captain almost went down. Well, announcer's curse again. Sorry, Brooke Wells.
Brooke got lost.
Brooke Wells now, who went the wrong way, is now back in 5th. That's a huge misstep for Brooke Wells.
And there was the twist that when you'd finished the first 3 miles, the course of which the athletes had been told that they were going to do, Dave Castro turned you around and said you have to run it in reverse. The inclines looked incredible and steep, and imagine coming to this hill.
You saw that hand over hand crawling up the hill.
You'd just be like, nah, that, I'm out. Some of the parts of the course were like a 55% gradient, which is, I mean, that's steep.
The best way to explain it is, one, look at athletes crawling on their hands and feet.
Fraser was back up to his old tactics.
But just 5 points back of Jeffrey Adler for 3rd, 20 points.
The athletes actually looked how we look after we're trying to survive any distance over 400 meters. The fight for the male side was between Matt and Medeiros throughout the whole event. Matt finished the first half of the event in 25:47 ahead of Medeiros.
Turn around, run in reverse. This is the entire course backwards. No, this way. I'm serious. I'm not joking. You're going to start losing. Run the whole course in reverse. Keep moving. I'm dead serious. Run the entire course.
And then went on to win the event in a time of 54:47. First half of the course taking him nearly 26 minutes. The second half of the course taking him 32 minutes. And the winner on the female side, Katrin Davidsdottir. She came in 27 seconds behind Tia after the first 3 miles. Tia technically won the first 3 miles with a time of 28:47, but then fell off in the second 3 miles, whereas Kat managed to hold 29:14 for the first 3 miles and 31:07 for the second 3 miles, which is just like incredible. Whereas Tia really dropped off in the second part to a 37:22 for the second 3 miles. Whilst other athletes were going to the ice baths, Olsen went and stroked a dog as soon as you'd finished. And this is where I actually really like the programming. I love the programming of the turnaround. CrossFit, we always say it's like preparing for the unknown and the unknowable. He pushed the athletes to the limit. Like, you would have pushed hard. You saw Matt and Medeiros sprinting to finish that first 3 miles and then being like, are you serious? When they got told to turn around. But he turned them around. And then that's where the mental aspect comes in as well as the physical. You've just pushed yourself to near failure. As we saw with Tia, she perfectly gamed that 3 miles to win it. And then in that second 3 miles, obviously she'd expended too much energy and couldn't hold on to the pace. But I thought that was a really good twist. But anyway, at the end of day 1, Fraser, 475 points. He's 220 points ahead of second place Justin Medeiros, but there is a fight between him, Noah, and Adler, and Samuel Quant. I mean, that can all change over these next 2 days. And on the female side, Tia Claire Toomey on top, 75 points ahead of Haley Adams. But again, with this leaderboard and how the points are set out, you know, one bad event and someone has one good event and it's a completely different story. Bring on day 2. It's been fun chatting to you guys again. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Smash that like button. We'll catch you in the next one.